ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Namaste, my dear friends. In this video, I am going to explain Mukti ka Upanishad of Shukla Yajurveda. This Upanishad is based on the dialogue between Lord Rama and his devotee Mahavir Hanuman. This Upanishad is under the category of minor Upanishad. So this video starts with Adhyay chapter 1. Addressing with devotion and obedience Sri Rama, the Lord Hari, at the end of his Samadhi, who being himself changeless is the witness of the thousands of changes of Buddhi, and whoever rests in Savrupa Dhyana, the meditation on reality, while seated under the bejeweled dome of the palace in the lovely city of Ayodhya, in the midst of Sita, Bharata, and Saumitri, Lakshmana, Satrughna, and others, eulogized day and night by Sanaka and other host of munis, as well as by Vasistha, Suka, and other devotees of Vishnu, Hanuman, after praising them, asked, O Rama, thou art Paramatma of the nature of Satchidananda, O foremost of the family of Raghu, I make prostrations to thee again and again. O Rama, I wish to know for the sake of emancipation thy nature as it really is. O Rama, be thou gracious enough to tell me that by which I shall be easily released from the bondage of mundane existence, and by which I shall attain salvation. Sri Rama replied, O mighty armed one, well asked, hearken them to the truth uttered by me. I am well established in Vedanta, or the end of Vedas, or knowledge. Have thou recourse to Vedanta well? Hanuman again asked, O foremost of Raghus, what are Vedantas? Where do they abide? Pray enlighten me. Sri Rama replied, O Hanuman, listen to me. I shall truly describe to you the nature of Vedanta. Through the expiratory breath of myself, Vishnu, the Vedas were generated as many, like the oil in the sesame seeds. Vedanta is well established or latent in the Vedas. Hanuman asked again, O Rama, how many are the Vedas and their branches? O Raghava, what are the Upanishads? Please, through thee, please, through thy grace, tell me truly. Sri Rama said, through the divisions of Rig Veda and others, The Vedas are said to be four in number. Their branches are many, so also the Upanishads. In Rig Veda, there are branches 21 in number. O son of Vayu, there are 109 branches in Yajurveda. O conqueror of enemies, there are 1000 branches in Samveda. O best of monkeys, there are 50 branches in Atharva Veda. In each branch there is one Upanishad. Whoever with devotion to me studies even one of the hymens in these attain the state of absorption rare for the munis to attain. Hanuman asked, O Rama, some excellent munis have said there is one kind of salvation only, while others stated that salvation is attained through the uttering of thy name or the initiation into Tarka, Tarka Om at Banaras, others through Sankhya Yoga, others through the yoga of devotion, other Maharshis through the meditation upon the meaning of Mahavakyas, the sacred sentences of the Vedas. Salvation is stated to be of four kinds through the division of Salukya and others. Sri Rama replied, there is only one true emancipation, O Kapi monkey. Even a person addicted to evil practices attains the salvation of Salukya, my world, through the uttering of my name, but not of other worlds. Should one die in Brahma, Nala, the lotus stalk, also street in Kasi, he attains my Tarka mantra. Such a person attains salvation without any rebirth. Wherever he may die in Kasi, Maheswara initiates him by whispering my Tarka mantra into his right ear. Such person freed from all sins attains my Savrupa form. It is this that is termed Salokya Sarupa salvation. The twice born who is of virtuous conduct and who without diverting his intelligence on any other meditates upon me, the all Atma attains Samipya, nearness to me. It is this that is termed Salokya Savrupa Samipya salvation. The twice born who, according to the path opened by the teacher, meditates upon my immutable reality, attains Sayujya, absorption into me, like the caterpillar into the wasp. This is the Sayujya salvation which is productive of Brahmic bliss and auspicious. Thus, these kinds of salvation arise through the Upasana worship of me. The only means by which the final emancipation is attained is through Mandukya Upanishad alone, which is enough for the salvation of all aspirants. If jnana is not attained thereby, study the 10 Upanishads. Thou shalt soon attain jnana and then my seat, O son of Anjana. If thy jnana is not made firm, practice study well the 32 Upanishads. Thou shall get release if thou longest after Videhe Mukti or disembodied salvation. Study the 108 Upanishads. I will truly state in order the names of the Upanishads with their Santi, purifactory mantras. Hearken to them. They are Isa, Kena, Katha, Prashna, Munda, Mandukya, Tattiri, Atriya, Chandogya, Brihadaranyaka, Brahma, Kevalya, Jabala, Savetas, Vatara, Hansa, Aruni, Garbha, Narayana, Parma, Hansa, Amrita Bindu, Amrita Nada, Atharva Sira, Atharva Sikha, Matriyani, कौशिताकी बृहत जबाला नरसिम्हा तपानी कलानी रुद्रा मैत्रेयी सुबाला कौसरुकी मंत्रिका सर्वसारा निरालंबा सुका रहस्य वज्रा चिका तेजो बिंदु नादा बिंदु ध्यान बिंदु ब्रह्मा विद्या योगा तत्व आत्म बोध का प्रवृत्त का नारदा परिवराज का त्रि सिखी सीता योगा चूड़ामणि निर्वाणा मंडला ब्राह्मणा दक्षिणा मूर्ति सर्भा सकंदा त्रिपद विभूति महानारायणा अद्वयातारका राम रहस्य रामा तपनी वासुदेवा मुदगला सांडिल्य पेंगाला भिक्षु माहत शरीर का योगाल शिखा तुरिया तीता संन्यासा परमहंसा प्रियराज का अक्समालिका अव्यक्त का एका सारा अन्ना पूर्णा सूर्या अक्षी अध्यात्मा कुंडिका सावित्री आत्मा पशुपता परब्रह्मा अवधूता त्रिपुरता पाणी देवी त्रिपुरा करा भावना रुद्रा हृदया योगा कुंडलिनी भस्मा जबाला रुद्राक्षा गणपति दर्शना तरासरा महावाक्या पंच ब्रह्मा प्राणा अग्निहोत्रा गोपाला तपानी कृष्णा याजना वाल्कया वराहा सत्यानी हयाग्रीवा दत्तात्रेया गरुड़ा काली सनातना जबाला सौभाग्या सरस्वती रहस्य Brahmavaricha and Muktika. These 108 Upanishads are able to do away with the three bhavanas of doubt, vain thought, and false thought, conferring jnana and vairagya, and destroying the three vasanas of book, lore, world, and body. The twice born, after learning the 108 Upanishads together with the Santi as prescribed both before and after from the mouth of a guru well versed in the observances of Vedic knowledge and study, become Jivan Muktas till the destruction of their prarabdha in course of time as prarabdha is destroyed. They attain my disembodied salvation. There is no doubt of it. O son of Vayu, these 108 Upanishads, which are the essence of all the Upanishads and are capable of destroying all sins through their mere study, have been imparted by me to you as a disciple. This science of the 108 Upanishads taught me taught by me is an occult one and will free persons from bondage, whether they read them with or without knowledge. To gratify the desire of a supplicant, a kingdom may be given or wealth, but never shall the 108 Upanishads be imparted to an atheist, an ungrateful person, one intent on vicious actions, one having no devotion towards me, or one who loses his path in the cave of books. On no account shall they be given to one devoid of devotion. O Maruti, it is only after a thorough examination that they should be imparted to a disciple doing service to a guru, to a well disposed son, or to one devoted to me, following good observances, belonging to a good family, and being of good intelligence. Whoever studies or hears of the 108 Upanishad attains me. There is no doubt of this. This is stated in the verse thus: Vidya Saraswati went to a Brahmana and addressed him thus: Protect me, I shall be thy treasure. Do not confide me to the envious, to one not treading the right path, or to the rogue. Then I shall be potent. Impart this Atmnishtha Vidya relating to Vishnu to one after well examining him, who had studied much, is alert, intelligent, observant of the vow of celibacy, and serving the Guru. Then Hanuman asked Sri Ramachandra to relate the Santi of each Upanishad according to the divisions of Rig Veda and others to which they belong. To which Sri Rama replied: Atreya Kaustiki Nada Bindu Atma Buddha Nirvana Mudgala Aksa Mallika Tripura Sobhagya and Bhavricha. These 10 Upanishads are of Rig Veda and have the Santi beginning with one में मानसी etc. ईसा बृहदारण्य का जबाला हंसा परमहंसा सुबाला मंत्रिका निरालंबा त्रिशिखी ब्राह्मणा मंडला ब्राह्मणा अद्वया तारका पेंगाला भिक्षु तुर्यातीता अध्यात्मा तारसारा याजनबालकया Satyayani and Mukrita and Muktika. These 19 Upanishads are of Sukla Yajurveda and have the Santi beginning with Purnamada etc. Katha, Titri, Brahma, Brahma, Kevala, Svetavsara, Garbha, Narayana, Amrita Bindu, Amrita Nada, Kalani Rudra, Kosrika, Sarvasara, Sukra Rahasya, Tejo Bindu, Dhyana Bindu, Brahma Vidya, Yoga Tattva, Dakshina Murti, Sakanda, Saririka, Yoga Sikha, Ekaksara, Aksi Avdhuta, Khara Rudra, Hृदय Yoga Kundalini, Panch Pancha Brahma Prana Agnihotra Vraha Kali Santakarna and Saraswati Rahasya. These 32 Upanishads are of Krishna Yajurveda and have the Santi beginning with the Sahasan Vatu etc. Kena Chandoge Aruni Matriyani Matreyi Yadra Suchiki Yoga Chudamani वासुदेवा, महत, संन्यासा, अव्यक्तका, कुंडरिका, सावित्री, रुद्राक्षा, Jabala Darshana and Jabali. These 16 Upanishads are of Samveda and have the Santi beginning with Apyantu, etc. Parsana, Mundaka, Mandukya, Atharva, Sira, Atharva, Shikha, Brihat, Jabala, Narsimha, Tapani, Narda, Parivrajikta, Sita, Sarbha, Mahanarayana, Rama Rahasya Rama, Tapani, Sandile, Brahmansa, Privrajaka, Anna, Purna, Surya, Atma, Pasupata, Prabrahma, Tripura, Pani, Devi, Bhavana, Bhasma Jabala, Ganapati, Mahavakya, Gopala, Tapani, Krishna, Hayagriva, Dattatreya and Garuda. These 31 Upanishads of Atharvana Veda have the Santi commencing with Bhadram, Karne, Bhi, etc. Persons desirous of emancipation and having developed the four means of salvation should with presence in their hands approach a guru full of faith, of good family, proficient in Vedas, scripture loving, of good qualities, straightforward, intent upon the welfare of all beings, and an ocean of compassion. And after studying under him, according to the rules, the 108 Upanishads, he should ever be going through the process of studying, thinking, and reflecting upon them. With the cessation of the three bodies through the destruction of Prarabdha, they attain the state of plenum without any upadhis like the ether in the pot after the pot is broken. This is the embodied salvation. This is the final emancipation. Therefore, even those in Brahmaloka, through the studying of Vedanta from the mouth of Brahma, attain with him the final emancipation. Hence, to all these is stated the final emancipation through the Jnana Patha and not through Karma, Sankhya Yoga, and other Upasanas. Thus is the Upanishad. Adhyay 2. Again, Maruti Hanuman addressed Sri Ramachandra thus: what is Jivan Mukti? What is Videha Mukti? What is the authority therein? What about its perfection? What is the object of such a perfection? Sri Rama replied: the dharma of a man's chitta that has the characteristics of agency and enjoyment is fraught with pains and hence tends towards bondage. The control of it, the chitta, is Jivan Mukti. Videha Mukti follows when, through the extinction of Prarabdha, the removal of the vehicles of the bodies takes place like the ether in the pot after the pot is broken. The authority on the points of Jivan Mukti and Videhi Mukti is the 108 Upanishads. Its object of perfection is the attaining of eternal bliss through the removal of the pains of agency, etc. This has to be achieved through human efforts. like progeny obtained through the putra Putrakshamesti sacrifice, wealth in trade, or heaven through the Jyotistoma sacrifice. So, Jivan Mukti is gained through Samadhi, arising through the Vedantic study, and accomplished through human efforts. It has to be won through the extinction of all vasanas. Regarding it, there are verses thus: the efforts of man are stated to be of two kinds, those that transcend scriptures and those that are according to scriptures. Those that transcend scriptures tend to harm, while those that are according to scriptures tend to reality. To man, true jnana does not arise through the vasanas of the world, scripture and body. Vasana is divided into two, the pure and the impure. If thou art led by the pure vasanas, thou shalt thereby soon reach by degrees my seat. But should the old impure vasanas land thee in danger, they should be overcome through efforts. This river of vasanas towards objects which flows in the pure and impure paths should be diverted to the pure path through human efforts. The impure ones have to be transmuted into the pure. That which is diverted from the impure turns toward the pure, so also the reverse. The child Chitta has to be fondled through the human efforts. O killer of enemies, it is only when through means of practice both vasanas quite abandon thee that thou wilt be able to realize the effects of such practice. Even in the case of doubt, the pure vasanas alone should be practiced. O son of Vayu, there is nothing wrong in the increase of the pure vasanas. The extinction of vasanas, vijnana, and the destruction of manas, as these three, when practiced together for a long time, are regarded, O great and intelligent one, as fruitful. So long as these are not equally practiced again and again, so long the supreme seat is not attained even after the lapse of hundreds of years. Even should one of these three be practiced for a long time, it will not yield its fruit like a mantra imperfectly done. Through the practice of these for a long time, the firm notes of the heart are cut without doubt, like the breaking of threads in a lotus stalk rent in twain. The illusory sansaric vasana that has arisen through the practice of many hundreds of lives never perishes except through the practice of yoga for a long time. Therefore, O Somya disciple, after having put away to a distance the desire of enjoyment through discriminative human effort, resort to these three alone. The wise know that a mind associated with vasana tends to bondage, while a man well freed from Vasana is said to be an emancipated one. O Mahakapi, great monkey, practice the state of a mind devoid of Vasana. Vasana perishes through well conducted deliberation and truth. Through the absorption of vasanas, Manas attains quiescence like a lamp without oil. He whose mind devoid of destruction is centered on me as of the nature of Chinmatra consciousness alone, abandoning the vasanas is no other than myself of the nature of Satchitananda. Whether Samadhi and karma are performed or not, one who has a supreme chitta with a heart devoid of all desires is an emancipated person. He whose mind is freed from vasanas is not subject to the fruits arising from the performance or non performance of actions or samadhi or jnana, except through the entire giving up of vasanas and through mona, the observance of silence towards objects, the supreme seat is not attained. Though devoid of vasanas, the eye and other organs are involuntarily prompted to their respective external objects through habit, just as the eye without any desire sees without any effort the objects that fall on it, so also the undaunted man of intelligence enters into the affairs of the world without any desire. O Maruti, the Munis know that as Vasana, which is manifested through the consciousness of objects, which is of the nature of objects itself, and which is the cause of the origination and absorption of chitta, this excessively fluctuating chitta is the cause of birth, dotage, and death due to the identification of itself with the objects practiced firmly for a long time, like the analogy of the seed and the tree. The vibration of prana arises through vasanas and vice versa. The vasana through the former, these forming the seed of chitta. To the tree of chitta, there are two seeds. The vibration of prana and vasana. Should either of them perish, both perish soon through the actions of the world being done without attachment, through the abandoning of the thought of the reality of the universe, and the conviction of the destructibility of the body, vasana does not arise. Through the complete giving up of vasana, chitta becomes not chitta. When the mind does not think at all, being completely devoid of vasana, then dawns the state of mindlessness, which confers the great peace. So long as you are without a mind of true discrimination and are not knower of the supreme seat, so long should you follow whatever has been decided by the teacher and the authorities of the sacred books. When your sins are burnt up and you are a knower of the reality without any anxiety, then all the good vasanas even should be given up. The destruction of chitta is of two kinds, that with form and that without form. The destruction of that with form is of the Jivan Mukta. The destruction of that without form being of the Videha Mukta. O son of Vayu, hearken to the means of the destruction of Chitta. That is said to be the destruction of Chitta when it associated with all the attributes of Maitreyi, friendship and others becomes quiescent without any resurrection. There is no doubt of it. Then the manas of a Jivan Mukta is free from fresh rebirth. To him there is the destruction of manas with form, but to the Videha Mukta there is the destruction of manas without form. It is manas that is the root of the tree of samsara with its thousands of shoots, branches, tender leaves, and fruits. I think it to be Sankalpa alone in order that the tree of samsara may wither soon, dry up its root through the quiescence of Sankalpa. There is only one means to control one's mind, that is to destroy the mind as soon as it arises. That is the great dawn. In the case of the wise, the mind is destroyed, but in the case of the ignorant, it is indeed a fatal. So long as the mind is not destroyed through the firm practice of the one reality, so long as vasanas are prancing about in the heart like Vitala, goblin in the night time. The vasanas of enjoyment of one who has destroyed the egoism of Chitta and controlled the organs, the enemies decay like lotuses in midwinter, pressing one hand against the other, setting teeth against teeth, and forcing one limb against the other. He should first conquer his mind. It is not possible on the part of the one thought to control the mind by sitting up again and again except through the approved means. As a vicious, rutting elephant is not subject to control except through the goad, so in the matter of the control of the mind, the effective means are the attainment of spiritual knowledge, association with the wise, the entire abdication of all vasanas, and the control of pranas. While such are the prescribed means, should persons try to control the mind through violence, they are like those that search in darkness, having thrown aside the light in their hands. Those who endeavor to control the mind through force are but trying to bind a mad elephant with the filaments of a lotus stalk. to the tree of the mind, having ever growing branches of modifications. There are two seeds. One is the fluctuation of prana, and the other is the firmness of Vasana. The one all pervading consciousness is agitated by the fluctuation of prana. The means of dhyana by which the one jnana is attained through the one pointedness of the mind is now imparted to you. After duly resolving back the things originated in the universe with all their changes, meditate upon that which remains, which Chinmatra, the consciousness alone, which is also Chidananda, conscious bliss. The wise say that the interval experienced by the yogis after the inspiration and before the next expiration is the internal kumbhaka cessation of breath, while the interval of complete equilibrium after expiration and before the next inspiration is the external kumbhaka. Through the force of the practice of dhyana, the current of the modification of manas, divide of self, that is of Brahmic nature, is said to be samprajna samadhi, while the mind with the utter quiescence of modifications that confers upon one supreme bliss is said to be asampra, asamprajanata samadhi, that is dear unto yogins. This state that is devoid of light, manas and buddhi, and that is of the nature of chit consciousness merely, is styled by the Munis Atta Divyarti Samadhi, a Samadhi that does not care or require the aid of another. It is plenum above, below, and in the middle, and is of the nature of Shiva, auspiciousness. This noumenal or occult samadhi is itself vidhi mukha, sanctioned by books or Brahma. The clinging to objects without previous or subsequent deliberation through intense thought or longing is stated to be Vasana. O chief of monkeys, whatever is meditated upon by a person with ardent impetuosity without any other Vasana, that he soon becomes a person that is entirely subject to Vasana, becomes of the nature of that. When he regards this universe as such, as Sat, the reality, then he is subject to delusion. Because of the many strong vasanas, he does not abandon the nature of the universe. This person of wrong vision sees everything under infatuation like one deluded. Vasanas are of two kinds, the pure and the impure. The impure ones are the cause of rebirth, while the pure are the destroyers, destroyers of it. The impure are said to be the wise to be of the nature of intense ajnana associated with the great ahankara and generative of rebirth. Of what avail is the achieving again and again of the many shastric stories to one that has abandoned the seed of rebirth, having turned it into burnt one? O Maruti, thou shouldst with effort seek the effulgence within. O tiger of monkeys, whoever after having abandoned the visible and the invisible is as the one alone is not a mere knower of Brahma but is Brahma itself. One who having studied the four Vedas and the various books does not cognize the reality of Brahma is like the ladle ignorant of the taste of the dainty. Therefore, what other advice of indifference can be imparted to a person that has not attained the indifference to the impure vasana of delusion or body. This body is very impure, while the one Atma that dwells in it is very pure. When the differences between the two are thus known, what then may be ordained as the purification? The bondage of Vasana is the real bondage, while the destruction of Vasana is salvation. After wholly abandoning the Vasanas, give up even the desire for salvation. After first giving up the Vasana of objects dependent upon the Vasana of the mind, attract unto thyself the pure vasanas associated with Maitri, friendship, and others. Though engaged in the world with these pure vasanas, give up them too and retire within the quiescent desires and become of the form of the longing after Chit alone. Then, O Maruti, giving up that also associated as it is with Manas and Buddhi, mayst thou now left alone become firm in me in Samadhi. O son of Vayu, always worship my reality that is destructive of pains without sound, touch, form, decay, taste, destruction, or smell, and without name and gotra clan. I am that non dual one Brahma that is of the nature of the visible jnana, like unto the Akas supreme, always shining without birth, non dual, without destruction, without attachment, and pervading all. I am the all and of the nature of salvation. One should ever meditate upon me thus. I am of the form of the visible jnana, the pure of changeless nature, and have really no objects in me. I am the ever full Brahma, transverse and across, up and down. Also meditate upon me thus. I am birthless, deathless, ageless, immortal, self shining, all pervading, destructionless, causeless, pure, beyond the effect of the universe, and ever content. When one's body becomes a prey to time, he gives up the state of Jivan Mukti as the wind attains the motionless state. The following is said in the Rig Veda also, like the eye which is spread in the Akash, seeing all things without any obstacle, so the wise ever sees the supreme seat of Vishnu. The Brahmanas that have ever the divine vision praise in diverse ways and illumine the supreme seat of Vishnu. Om Tat Sat is the Upanishad. So this completes the Muktika Upanishad. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment and share the video. Subscribe the channel. Namaskar, my dear friend. Thank you.